Listen up. Today we're talking about a property I'm very familiar with because I lived there when I was in high school. It's 156 units in Susquehanna Township called Wedgewood Hills Apartments on Wakefield Road. It has 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, and believe it or not, I just checked right now and they have only 1 unit available, and it's not even available for another month or 2. So their occupancy rates are extremely high there. They're definitely keeping the property full. There's a lot to learn about Wedgewood Hills Apartments and the gradual improvement over the years and things they've done to try to position the property to remain competitive in its market. When I lived there, it was a very quiet, mostly older folks, and they lived there for a long time. They had old, originally oil boilers, and they switched them over to gas. And then at some point after the property was sold, they switched over to these new units that I really think are terrible. I don't like them. I've seen a lot of reviews online that other people don't like them that are living there because they're cold or they don't work right, or on a really cold day it doesn't heat the place right. But they're almost like through the wall or through a window air conditioning in it is what it seems like. They put new windows in, but they're built right into the windows. And they really look terrible in my opinion. They hurt the curb appeal of the property. They devalue the property in a lot of ways. And I just think that they could have done better, but I understand it was a huge investment and they were trying to remove the expense of the heating systems off of the landlord, which, for 156 units is definitely a huge change in their monthly expenses. This property, some of the amenities I want to make sure I cover is it has basement storage lockers. They've been there forever. It has the laundry rooms. There's 1 large laundry room per building, and I think there are 12 buildings. There's Morgan Properties has added Amazon Hub, a dog park, and a playground. So they've definitely, between windows and the dog park and the playground and changing over heating systems and starting to add dishwashers to the kitchen. Not all of them have them. In fact, most of them still don't. And, they started to add some microwaves instead of the range hoods. And so, again, most of them don't, but they're starting to add more of them over time. And again, so right now, the 2 bedroom that they have available is $13.20 a month. And that's only for 740 square feet. And the only thing that's included is water, sewer, trash. And so you pay your own electric, and it's those, I guess, through the window, air conditioning, heating, we call them PATC systems, I believe. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Somebody always says, hey, you say that wrong, but basically they're like a through the wall or through the window heating and air conditioning system. And so anyway, that's what I have for you on this property. I lived there when Kenwood Investments owned it, and they kind of sold it as I was going from 11th to 12th grade, I believe. And so they sold it, and then Morgan Properties has been in place ever since. So Morgan Properties has been there for over 27 years now. So it's been a long time. Sometimes it feels like yesterday, other times it seems like a very long time ago. Like I said, I lived there for a number of years with my father, so I'm familiar with the property. And hey, don't click away yet. We're actually going to go to the property today, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And there was just a big snowstorm at the time I'm filming this, but we're going to take a look at the exterior of the property, see how well they did on the snow removal, and just show you some of the buildings and maybe catch an entranceway or something. So please stay tuned while we do a little field trip. See you in 1 second. So we've arrived at Wedgewood Hills Apartments on Wakefield Road, Susquehanna Township, and we're just going to take a look. It just recently snowed, so obviously you can see that, but so we won't get the best look of the community, but we'll see that they definitely salted their sidewalks, and they definitely did a fairly decent job on snow removal. However, it's to say that this is a public road, so it's the township of Susquehanna to take care of the roadway here. So what you have is you have 12 buildings that were garden apartments that were built on first and second floor apartments. And then whenever you see the basement entrance, that would be taking you down to their basement storage units and their laundry facilities that are on site. Now you can see this is pretty expansive property, and it's managed by Morgan Properties. They're 1 and 2 bedrooms. It's actually, their occupancy rate here is pretty full. They have people moving in and out still, but they're filled up, and currently no vacancies that the manager could even show me. So and you can see the trash collection areas and parking areas that are provided off street, so they do have that as well as the on street parking. And so I just wanted to give you a view of the actual community and just show you actually a community that I used to live in. So, and helped many a times with shrubbery around the outside of the building when my dad worked for Kenwood Investments, which was long before it was managed by Morgan Properties. And so a lot of things are the same, but there's a lot of things that are different from when I was here. Like they put vinyl posts and railings in at the front doors. So every common entrance you're seeing in this video is an entry to 4 apartments. And so for investor minded, I think you look at this property and say, geez, I wish I could own something like that one day, because you might be doing single family homes, or you might be doing 2 to 4 unit apartment buildings, and you're like, how do I own an apartment complex? Well, we'll go over that on my channel, and I sure hope you'll subscribe, and we'll go over stuff like that. But you can certainly do it if you put your mind to it. It's not a far gone conclusion to purchase properties like these. So up here in the yellow building, the only yellow building out of the 12, is where the rental office is, and also the lower side slopes down, and that's where their maintenance shop is. So they have on-site maintenance, on-site management, and I believe I said earlier in the video that this manager who runs this community is also responsible for I believe it's 2 or 3 other apartment complexes in this area. So hopefully she gets back to me. We can update this review, but that's what I have for you now, and I really appreciate you taking a look. And like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for viewing this video today.